Welcome to part 26 of the Viking web traffic series. In this video I'm going to talk to you about press releases, which is a method that will give you primarily repeat visitors. And the cost for this method is anything from free up to modest. Now, don't get frightened because of the title. This tactic will help you generate a fantastic buzz about your site, product, or whatever it is you're trying to attract attention to through online media sources. It isn't rocket science though. Pretty much anybody can write up an effective press release. Press releases are not advertisements, but promotional tools. The main reason for using them is to create buzz, announce new product offerings, and generate quick streams of traffic, as I mentioned before. The power of a press release rests on two things. 1. Press releases are syndicated content, which means wide distribution for your message. And 2. Search engines love them. Depending on which distribution service you use and whether you pay the fee for premium distribution, your press release can end up on seriously high traffic sites. Think CNN, Google, and Yahoo News, Wired.com, AOL, NBC, you get the idea. So instead of you having to spread the word about your business alone, you are recruiting the help of media sources, such as those mentioned previously, to do all the grunt work for you. Even at the free level of distribution, you still reach the thousands of sites that subscribes to the PR service's newsfeed. Search engines tend to be fond of press releases as well. If you optimize the release for your target keywords, you can sneak into the top 10 on Google almost overnight. You'll need to learn the art of writing a good press release though. It's not the same as writing an article or an advertisement. There are certain journalistic standards you must adhere to, as well as a specific format you need to follow in order for your press release to be accepted by the media sources. Otherwise, your press release will be pitched right into the nearest virtual garbage can. Think of it like writing up a news report. In essence, that's really what it is. An interesting news report that discusses your site or product release. Now here's some basic press release guidelines. 1. The information must be newsworthy. A new product launch or business deal would be considered newsworthy. You've got some wiggle room here. You don't want your press release to sound like an advertisement, but it's fine to announce your web presence or the launch of a new product. A good press release should be informative only and not a sales pitch. The object of the press release is to provide specific information regarding your particular business, product or site. 2. Target your readers. The audience, when reading your release, should understand why this information is relevant to them. Give them a reason to keep reading. 3. Use the best possible lead-in headline you can come up with. Then, to keep it simple, incorporate the headline into the first sentence of the main body of the press release. 4. Immediately following this, make it clear who you are. Always lead with the announcement and follow with the source. 5. Your copy should keep the reader connect and relate. Explain why, how, when and where. Include a benefit. 6. Write in an objective tone of voice. You can convey importance or excitement, but avoid using too many adjectives or fancy language. Stay focused on the facts. 7. Make sure you include as much contact information as possible. This means the name of the person to contact regarding the press release, a phone number, fax, snail mail address, email address, and website address. 8. Check your press release over several times. Have a friend or relative proofread it as well. Correct spelling mistakes. Make sure your release offers something of substance. To further illustrate how a press release should be formatted and appear visually when you submit them for approval, I will now share with you more specific details on each of the 7 parts to the standard, and more importantly, acceptable press release. 1. The headline. 2. The subheadline. 3. First paragraph, 4. Second paragraph, 5. Third paragraph, 6. Summary paragraph, 7. About and contact information. Writing up the headline. Just as when you create a headline for your sales page, you should do your best to grab the reader's attention without being too outrageous. Remember too that you're not trying to sell them anything, only provide them with interesting information. The ideal length of the headline should be no longer than 80 characters in all. Try your best not to go over. If you can make it shorter than 80, good. The standard 18 size serif font will do nicely for this. You can center it or not, but some media sources will require you to center the headline, so keep that in mind. Always remember that the use of the headline is to grab your readers like a pit bull onto a chew toy. Lock them on and don't let them go, make them want to keep on reading. Now, writing up the sub-headline. Obviously, this will be placed directly underneath the main headline. It should be a smaller font, preferably Times New Roman, and should also be in bold. Try not to place quotation marks around it as you would with a normal sales page sub-headline. This can be centered also or left aligned depending on the media source you're submitting it to. As with writing up a web sales page, you need to continue the interest factor with a sub-headline, but without directly trying to sell something. Writing up the first paragraph. Within the first paragraph, you'll want to begin with this: city, state, your name or company name, month, day, year, in that order. Think of a press release as an article you would read in your local newspaper. Why do you read the newspaper? To be kept up to date with world events. The first paragraph should be descriptive, but kept as short as possible. Your main goal is to keep the reader's interest about your press release. Try to get across the who's, what's, where's, why's and how's in this paragraph. Writing up the second paragraph. Inside the second paragraph, you want to expand more on the purpose of your press release and why it should be considered newsworthy by the media. You should not use inappropriate punctuation such as exclamation points. Be sure that you check for any and all grammatical errors. It's just not professional if you leave a bunch of mistakes that could have easily been corrected by running the spell checker tool. Writing up the third paragraph. Use this third paragraph for explaining to the world why your company would be an excellent choice for anyone interested in what it is you're specializing. Explain how it is you help people with a particular problem. Writing up the final or summary paragraph. This paragraph is used for summarizing your press release in its entirety. Try to keep it as short and descriptive as possible. Writing up the about and contact information. This is the very last part of your press release. Just as you do when you write up an article for reprinting, you will want to include an About Me or About the Author section. Keep it short, but provide information about the person any interested parties who would like more information should be contacting. At the basic About information, you should place all the ways in which this person can be contacted. Remember to include 3 hash marks at the very end of your press release. This lets the media source know they have reached the end. You can even get help writing your press release for a fee from the PR service. PR Web is one such distributor that offers editorial services. And that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video where I will talk about private web rings. Okay, see you then.